In this life, what ought to be the most important is our search for the truth. Truth can never be merely concepts, or conditioning, or belief. Truth is spirit. It is what we are. It is our essential nature and being. It has been so from before the beginning of time, for truth is timeless. The veils of ignorance, illusion, delusion, that holds all the beings in this world hostage, causing them to be distracted away from the self and to be fixated upon the fleeting things of this world, and so to come into suffering. These veils here in satsang, they are being pulled apart so that true knowledge can come again, and that the clear light of awareness alone shines. This is love.
Hi there, so I'm broadcasting from the UK. First off, I want to take a look at this picture that was taken by a guy in the Netherlands. Look at particularly the shape of it and also the colour, because in the footage that comes just after, I can clearly see this sighted next to our sun. Now it's supposed to be a simulator. The other interesting thing in this shot, I mean we've got loads going on, is this triangle. Now if you look at the triangle, I believe this is one of the cells on the simulator that's not working at the moment, but you can clearly see that there's man-made lines in it, and it only seems to pop up whenever I'm filming the sun. Now obviously it's a reflection of some kind. I never really understood the sun simulator, but then I had it explained by someone else on their channel, and they were saying it's a bit like having these things sit above the earth, and it's like a giant torch. It shines down on us and it makes us impossible for us to see what's behind it. It works on the same basis. If someone shines a torch in your face, you can't see what's going on to the sides and behind that person or that torch. As you can see, all I'm doing here is just trying to apply various filters to see whether it makes any difference. Can you see the detail on this triangle? Or triangle, should I say, because it repeats itself. There's about 3 of them at some points. Now look at this thing at the side. Don't you think this looks very similar to the original picture that I showed you? Obviously it's some sort of refraction. I've suddenly just realised that I'm picking it up and it looks very, very similar. As incredible as it seems, when I saw that picture I thought there's no way we don't have the technology to produce something like this. The crazy thing about it is the thing that I've kind of like worked out from watching some of the other channels is that I think that there's more than one of these that is around the Earth, because when I see footage from the States, they don't have triangles that keep popping up. They have blobs, and they're a different colour. They're like a reddy orange. And they're round in shape. They're not triangles. Which, you know, obviously makes me believe that there's more than one of these that are up there. I think that the reason that you get these triangular shapes popping up, it's where the cells are blown. They're not actually working. But when you look at the lines on it, it's incredible, because that definitely doesn't look like something that's natural that should be up there. That looks synthetic. That looks man-made, or see, I'm not moving the camera at this point. This is just doing it on its own. So this footage that I've got here was quite interesting. I just noticed that the sky was looking a bit odd. It was that red glow around the outside that we don't normally get. Look at where the sun is in the middle of this. This to me kind of clearly indicates that there is a simulator, and it's slightly out of sync here. It's looking so much bigger than the sun around it. And as you know, because the sun's further away, you can't have something that's shining behind it. It just shines down. Whereas it looks like the sun's giving off light on both sides, which I know it does, but obviously it's so far away from us we only get to see one side of it. And there's our sun. I think what occasionally happens, this is where you're getting, you know, various light coming through the skies in different places, is when this simulator slightly goes out of kilter, and it's not directly behind the sun or in front of the sun. It's not in alignment with it. Just in case you didn't know, I mean, the theory is that because they do this, it stops us from seeing the planets that are up there. They're supposed to be NIBIRU and 7 moons, that are sitting very close to our sun, which I think as each day goes on become more visible. I think more than anything it's just so beautiful. And this is just such lovely footage. I just wanted to use it just because it's just stuff that I've never ever seen before. I mean, just don't you think it's so crazy? I mean, we've just got so much stuff that are going on in the skies at the moment. Yeah. And to me it was enough with having alien orbs and you know, giant red planets, and now we've got so much weird activity going on with the moon and with the sun. See, look at the way this light's bursting through in different places. I think the other thing that's worth noting is that when you have days like this, when it's so cloudy, you don't really get a sun that should be as bright as that. You know, the contrast, this is what drew my attention to it. The contrast is so huge. Normally a dull day is a dull day, really, and you get a dull sun to go with it. This light is incredible that's coming through the clouds. Look at that, that's almost a perfect circle that surrounds our sun. These weird red edges. So these guys have been driving me absolutely mad. You know, they're virtually impossible to film. These planes, they move so fast. We downloaded an app to try and figure out what sort of planes they are, because we were, you know, are they chemtrailing or are they passenger jets? But they just move so fast. It's impossible to keep up with them. And they also spin as well, which I'm sure that if you're on a passenger jet you wouldn't take too kindly to. So this is at night, and I'm doing some filming. I'm thinking that I'm filming an alien orb. Suddenly realised this thing's actually chemtrailing right across the moon in front of me in the night. I didn't even know that they did it at night until I zoomed back and realised that there was just, you know, chemtrails all over the front of the moon. There you go.
No, you haven't. You can't touch it tonight. You haven't tried to close it, have you? Because the cement's still setting.
Which can only make you believe that there's something about the moon that they don't really want us to see either. Because this thing was just flying virtually directly up in the sky. So this is one of those alien orbs that pretends to be a star. I'm just trying to draw it into the camera. Okay, and onto the moon. This particular night, I kind of thought that this moon was, number one, a peculiar shape. I've never seen this shape before. And then when I eventually get it to come into the lens, can you see the pinky sort of glow to it? But nevertheless, very beautiful. And then all these bright lights all over the surface. You feel like they're having a party up there or something. I was filming the moon this week and it didn't even look like the moon, it just looked like some sort of weird hologram. I couldn't get any of this sort of detail on the face, and it looked like it had a lip on it that went all the way around, so I'm totally baffled now. I think the more you look, the more confused you get. And I think the other thing worth noting is, like, sometimes you get like a greeny line that goes around the moon, and it just seems to be so bright, you know, almost like a sun. these are more of those kind of like flashing orbs that, is it an aeroplane, is it not an aeroplane? And on this particular night I kind of thought, right, I'm gonna stay on it as best I can, so the camera kind of goes all over the place. This thing's whizzing, but I'm on a tripod, I can only go so fast, so it pops in and out of the lens all the time, but it clearly shows this is definitely an orb that is flashing red then flashing white. That definitely isn't from this planet.